Yeah, we had a hard frost this morning. Okay, today's project is going to be this 99 or 89, I'm sorry. It's like around a 1989 Stratos fish and ski. So you can see we got a hard frost this morning. And anyway, so our customer, Danny, complains that it was really hard to start. And so he brought it to me because he was like, I need to get it figured out. It's kind of like my normal deal. First time boat owner. And I gotta tilt this up. But yeah, he's a first time boat owner. So we thought we'd go through it. Yeah, it's got a solid transom. And it's look good. So yeah, he said that it was really hard to start, and it seems like he knows what he's doing as far as starting it. You know, these things have a certain way you have to start them up. So this kind of pulls out. There's a little, if I can get it, I don't know if I can get it well, but if you see the C, pull throttle forward. Yeah, there we go. You kind of get it all the way out, and then you kind of put it like that, and then it's not in gear, and you can advance it timing and get it to start. I know he said that he thought the starter was kind of funky, and he bought another starter, but he bought a cheap starter. And this is the problem. It's like a lot of people do this. They go and get a cheap starter like off of Amazon or something, and then it doesn't last very long, and then it dies, and then you know they're like, you know, you're back in the same deal again. And then what do? They go back and buy another cheap starter. So instead of just getting an OEM starter and an OEM solenoid, which is kind of what's going on with our Triton over there. But anyway, that ends up costing them, because then they got to go buy a proper OEM one. So I guess this morning what I'm going to do is get this hooked up. I'm going to get it moved over by the garage, so I don't have to walk back and forth, and get us a tub filled up, and I don't know, see what we can come up with. But this is our project for today. Pretty hard frost this morning. That's not good. I don't want snow, but you know, this year has been pretty light so far. You know, it's been we haven't had any snow yet. Everything's very brown. But that doesn't mean anything. Maybe we can get through this year without anything. Last year was pretty, I can't see out of my mirrors, but this is a good idea here. I may have to jack it in a little bit, but it works pretty good. See, it fits right inside there, so Make sure your thing's latched. Do this. There we go. You don't have to jack it up so high. So that gets it up in the air, and then I get my tub in there, and then I'll have to adjust it, set it back. Get my tub in the air, and then I'll have to adjust it, you know, down. Like if you lift it up in the air, then the motor's gonna be more down. So if you go down, then the motor's gonna be more up in the air. Alright, Evinrude 150, it's a V6. And I mean, it looks pretty clean, except for like down here, it's like a lot of dirt and debris. But you know, these are pretty sealed. I mean, you gotta really, you know, kind of. But these got the plastic bowls, you know, it's like these carburetors are terrible. Looks like they've got the linkage all set right, you know. First glance. We'll have to take this off and see how dirty it is on the inside, but usually, like, I don't know, you know, it's just not. Well, we'll take the bowls off the sides, on both sides, and then maybe flush it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some water in here. I'm going to get these all off and maybe do a compression test first. It looks like somebody wrote the compression numbers on there. So, but we don't want to trust that. We don't want to believe that. Just to make sure, you know, these are right. So this is 95. The other side says 100. Yeah. Anyway, we'll look at it. We'll take a good, put our peepers on there real good. So like, see, all right, I can tell like this starter is not, you know, like it's not down. Maybe put a charge on it. So I just gotta, I think he said he had a cable in here, so we can just use the onboard charger. And he's got a starter in there. Okay, you guys, I've got water in a tank down here, and I just want to do a visual inspection, try to figure out, okay, what's going on. Obviously somebody's been in here before. You know, we got some compression numbers written on the back of these cylinder heads. So, you know, I was looking over this this wire here, you know, it's like going to each coil. And so, you know, I'm thinking, well, okay, we need to verify that this, you know, is wired up right. So we got, you know, well, I'll mark these too. It's like 1, 3, 5. So 1, 3, 5, and then over here you got 2, 4, 6. So you can see here, like the hanger, like this, which is fine. There's no problem there. But we know someone's been in here because, like, the clip is gone. You don't need the clip for these. It's unnecessary. But the clips are gone for these. You know, I don't know. Maybe he's got. It's as simple as, like, he's got one of the coils wired up wrong. Like, he took it off. He's like, whoever was looking at it, I don't know. I'm going to pull a wiring diagram, though, first and see and make sure and verify that. And then I'm going to get set up with my compression gauge. And, hey, the thing is, like, when you start this process, you know, make sure the first thing you do is get and make sure you have a fully charged battery. You want your battery as full as you can get it before you start cranking on it and doing things. All right, someone painted this. You can see the lower unit. First I thought this was just grease, but then it's you know, it's been painted over. So if you look, there's a sticker. It's right here. There's also a couple other stickers that are up here. So somebody has painted over our number. We don't know what it is. And so I went and pulled a wiring diagram, and I got to get some tools out here. But it was kind of like, I know this motor, so I know I just had to refresh the memory. But I'll try to set this down somewhere where you guys can see it. It's kind of wet over here, but so this is going to our ignition coils. Get my papers down here. This is going to our ignition coils, and you can see over here it clearly says 1, 3, 5, and then down here 2, 4, 6. This is a V6, and you'll notice that you know, here's your high tension lead to the spark plug, and then if you follow this one, because this is 1, we follow this one, we got an orange and a blue. Let me get you back. So here's 1, okay? So if we follow this, you know, this is our high tension lead, and then if we follow from coil number 1, this is orange, blue. And if you notice, then on here, this will be an orange, and then our last one is orange green. So that wasn't very graceful. But then if we go over to 2, 4, 6 and we look at this, and we'll notice that we have orange, blue, orange, and then on this last one we'll have orange, green. It says OG. And then we just want to verify that, you know, again, so orange, blue on our number 1. So we do have an orange, blue, and then we're going to have an orange, and then this one should be orange, green, and it is. You can kind of see that. So if we look at this one, you know, like I said, orange, blue, orange, orange, green, and it's going to be the same thing on this side. So we're going to have orange, blue. You know, we just need to maybe verify this one. Yeah, I can look up underneath there. I got an orange, blue. Then it looks like I have an orange, and then I have an orange, green. So it is wired correctly, and you can't mess that up because they're in connectors. So there's no way to physically, you know, kind of mess that up. So they're going to come from this power pack, and then they're going to go to the other power pack. So now what I'm going to get, oh, also I looked up spark plugs. So here's the one thing we're going to need to do is pull a spark plug and look at it. And this is, looks to me probably, yeah, it's a BZ or BZ7HS10s, which is the right plug. But I think it runs better on a Champion plug. So that's one thing, and we just want to verify that we have spark on everything. So like I said, I'll pull these and get my electric start and get my compressor tester out here, and we can go from there. Okay, well, the spark plugs didn't look bad at all. This was number 1. This side, it looks kind of dry. Like if you look at this real close, you can, I don't know if it'll do it, but it looks pretty dry, right? But the other side is not. Like, it's pretty wet. So there's one, that's 2, but I wiped it off. So I don't know if this will show up in the camera or not, but it's definitely wet. Like, it's a lot wetter. Still should probably run. I don't know yet, but I've got my spark checker out here because I want to check make sure we got spark. And then the next thing I do is, like, I got my remote starter switch, You're gonna have to have this stuff in order to figure this out, to be honest with you. It just is what it is. I don't know how you're gonna figure it out if you don't have this. Alright, where's the key switch at? Right next to there. Kinda hard to do it upside down. We're gonna turn it to the on position. That way I can look just to see. And then I got my compression tester. If I got spark everywhere, then we'll go from there. But I just have this. And this is probably not gonna show up. I don't know, but we're gonna try it. Definitely needs a new starter, I believe. Yeah, it's pretty low. So either we got a connection problem, or it needs a new starter pre-installed. There it goes. A little better, but I believe he needs a new starter. I thought I saw a spark. Alright, so let's look at one. I see it on 1, I see it on 2, I see it on 5. I don't know if we're going to get enough juice out of this. Let's see if I see it on 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I see it on 2. That's just been way faster. I see it on 4. I see it on 6. Alright, we got spark. We got to do something about this. Track down our cables, clean them up. You know, they got these wing nuts. I don't like these wing nuts. You know, I like actual. And those wing nuts can be loose, and that's our problem. We find out which battery it is. It's probably that one. I don't know. Alright, well, these are all loose as goose. Yeah, let me just get them on that. I don't know if you saw that or not, but that moved like a lot. Also, like over there, see, that's why I don't like these, because they don't make a good connection. See, I think these are all the rest of the, I guess that's the battery. Yeah, it should be the battery. It looks like that looks like a Johnson Evinrude cable. I guess let me check that one. Man, it's like winter time. Wow, it's like really rain. Hey, I got this guy's tire, you know, it's like going flat, so gotta air it up. And you know, I might put a block under it, because that way it doesn't just totally go down on the rim. But anyway, this one works, but that's not great. Maybe it's coming out of there, I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'd much prefer bolts on this, because you know, it's pretty hard to get a wrench in there to do this right. I mean, a regular wrench would be easy, but you know, to get a good, you know, it's just really. But that's a battery. That's the battery right there. Let's see if it spins better. This one's loose too, so I tightened that up. Yeah, she's not. She could still crank better. because that definitely is not going to spin fast enough for like if we put the plugs in it, it's not going to spin fast enough. I think we take all this other stuff that they got on it, we'll take it off, and then just have just the motor on it so we can isolate that down. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to take everything off of this. Looks like it's just a charger, and then it's I don't know, it's something to the house, but I mean, yeah, there's some other stuff on here. I don't know what it is. Probably something's pulling the voltage down. So I think we gotta take those cables off and just have the motor on there. Either that or it's a really weak solenoid. Could be a really weak solenoid. Alright, you can see it's pretty low. I put my charger on it and just see where it's at. I also took a look, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in here, but if you look, like, of course this is in the way right here, but it says it's a 24M, but there's only 625 cranking amps. So this is a brand new battery, because it's about a year old, 223. So, but that's not enough cranking amps. I mean, it needs to be a minimum of 800. So like this battery that I got in here, I've got one of those right next to it. You saw there's like, that's a really good battery right next to it that's in there. But you know, I got one of my diehards, and I'm gonna take it out there and throw it on here. But this is a 800 cold cranking amps, and anyway, this is actually a Deca battery, but diehard makes it, and you get them in advance auto. So you know, it's 135 reserve, which is pretty good, but this is a cranking battery. See, starting, like, you don't want a deep cycle for your starting battery. You want a good battery. So, and the heavier the battery, the better. So this is a 24 series battery. You can get, you know, obviously you can go way up. I've got it over there in my other boat. I've got an X-Side, and it's an AGM battery, you know, and it's a pig, man, because it's like a 31, and you know, 31 series. So you know, the heavier the battery, generally, like, the better, the more cranking amps and that. But this is a V6, so like, be okay, that battery would be okay for like a 3-cylinder, but it's not going to be okay for a V6. So you're going to have a minimum spec, and I'll go in there and look, and because my battery may not even be enough for this application. We'll see. Let me see. You know, I'll go in here and look this up. You know, I guess we could, like, you know, daisy chain them, and like, I don't want to do any of that. So, you know, if I have to, I'll just take those two batteries and put them together. But anyway, I got a Deca chart in here, and it'll tell me what size cranking battery I need. Alright, this is our Deca Marine Outboard Motor Application Guide, and it tells us basically the minimum specs on outboards, and it goes by manufacturer. So we just scroll down until we find our Johnson Evinrude, and then what you want to do is then, so like, here's our 2-stroke, and so if you come in, we're looking for that V6, and it's a carbureted engine. So there's a couple of options: 24M5, 24M6. So the 24M6 is a popular battery that you'll find, and it has 675 cold cranking amps, you know, and the MCA is 845. So that's a battery. It's like, that's the minimum specs. Now Deca makes a diehard battery at Advanced Auto Parts, and it's got 800 cold cranking amps. This is 24M6, and then anyway, it's a good battery. So okay, I looked it up on my chart, and for this engine, it really wants to see a 24M6. So I think what we're gonna do So we're gonna disconnect this battery. And this is very low. He's been cranking on it, but it's very, very low. So hopefully I can get this off here. And then we'll just have to go from here, but you can see it's not, these just are not, you know, it's not a good connection. It'd be pretty easy to remember these, I think. And all we really need is this. We can leave all the rest of this plugged up. And you can see too, like this was on top of this, and that's very corroded, very rusted. We're gonna try this first. See if we get a difference. I don't want to lose connection, so I'm gonna leave that kind of on there. Ugh. Alright, that kind of gets it out of the way, but not really. See if we got enough length. Yeah. Oh. That should get us, yeah. And just so you know, it is that battery, because if, you know, yep, it's nothing. I bet we'll get a much different result this time. Yeah, see, this is rusted up. I'm gonna clean these off. Alright. See, you can see this gets a lot tighter. Alright. Let's see what we got. It's better, still weaker. I kind of feel like it's like got a solenoid, you know, issue. Probably needs a stronger solenoid, but that's definitely better than what it was. I think probably throw some plugs in it, see if I can get it to start, or you know, maybe I could check. No, I'm gonna check my compression, right? That's what we're doing. Okay, let me do that. And then to keep my battery up, I'm gonna throw, just because I don't know what the condition of my battery is. It should be good, but go ahead and throw it on the charger. Yeah, it's a little low. No, it's not. It's not too bad. Now let me get set up. I want to charge that up good. Alright, I don't need the key on for this, but I do need this to quit popping off of here. And then I got a compression tester over here. Let's see what we get. Yeah, that's just not enough. That's not going to spin it up enough, I think. But that's 90. You have to figure out something here. It says 100, but this is not right. So we're gonna say 90. Just not enough to really do this right. It should be spinning a lot faster than that. I mean, a lot faster. So I don't have a solenoid. I got a couple of them ordered. Replacing the starter is probably not going to be the problem. It's going to be in that solenoid. I mean, it's at times it cranks it pretty good. We're going to call that, I don't know, 90, 92, 93. '92, '93. That's not good. That's looking about 80. So we'll call this 92. Call that 80. I don't know. Things I don't know is, well, we're gonna find out what it's gonna be. It's just not really cranking it like. Should probably, maybe we get better numbers if we crank it better or higher, or if we don't have any maybe fuel going to that side. This thing's so stiff that it keeps popping off of my solenoid. See, that came up. That's about what they said. We're going to say 90 though. So far, we got one cylinder. It's kind of low. But we may not have some fuel going to that side. This thing has its moments where it's kind of wants to act right, but then it doesn't. Alright, so here we go. See how it was. Alright, so this is another one that's 90. And that's about what these motors, I mean, I don't know if they came like new, but this is a low compression motor. If it was a good compression motor, I'm thinking it should run, but I'm thinking a 120 on all the cylinders is what we would really be looking for. Yeah, 90. Or, yeah, right at about 90. So let's check our spark plugs, check our gaps, make sure we have good spark plugs, and then throw these back in, spray some B12 in the cylinders and see if it'll fire off. Which I kind of doubt, but we'll see. Where's my... That's good. Whoa. That's good. That was good. They look like they were almost brand new. Yep. Alright. So then 30 thousandths is what we're looking for, so let's see where they are. Yeah, that's a little more. There's one. This will take forever. That's about right. It's a little more. Gaps. Yeah, it's way over that. Support the gap. These are the under gaps. It's over gaps. Yeah, that's like way over gaps. Way over gaps. Way over gaps. Alright, so now I'm gonna just spray some stuff, some of that B12. And again, like that B12 has got a little bit of lubrication in it. So I'm gonna spray it in there in each one of the, and I don't know, we'll see if we can get it to bark off. It's not too crazy hopeful, but you never know. Alright, let me just pump up the bowl. It seems pretty taut already. I'll turn that off. Got the plugs in. I don't know. Do we dare to see if it'll bark off? Let's see if we can put this down. Oh yeah, I just drop everything everywhere. See if it'll fire. Yeah, it won't even fire. Okay. What's up with that? Alright, well, the key is on. Just wondering if we have a ignition key problem. Yeah, so it started and then it died. So it's definitely not getting fuel. Alright. But our key is not working. So is it in the harness or is it somewhere else? Let's see what happens if we give it a little. So this is your choke. Let's see for a bit. Let's see if we can fast idle it. That'll give it a little more throttle. Yeah, we got a fuel problem. So maybe we crack these all and flush them out. See if that thing will kind of come back around. Maybe we got a jet that's clogged or something. So, you know, the way these are is like there's 2 barrels for each side. So one barrel goes to that side over there, port. Starboard's gonna go to this side. So we want to make sure these are probably does need a carb job. Well, she's pretty dirty. Of course, I had to take this off because I dropped a fitting. Where did it go? Where did it go? Of course, it's nowhere to be found. All right, well, I don't want to take the airbox off because that messes with that timing. Because you're right there, like that's why they had to design it that way. I don't know, but yeah, our carb fitting just went off into the abyss. Never to be seen or heard from again. So it just fell right there. Where would it went? Underneath this? You got this stupid little plate here. It's, I don't know. What in the world? Alright, so here's the carb off of that Johnson out there. Or that Evinrude. I'm sorry. But, you know, anyway, I just got where I was like, oh, I'm just going to take it off. So, I took it off, and, you know, the top 2 flushed really good. And, you know, we've got ports right here. You know, these little fittings come off, and you can squeeze the bulb, and you should have good flow coming out of there. But, you know, it's a plastic bowl, so you just want to be careful with them, you know. And what I ended up doing was I just took this thing apart because, you know, it was this one, bottom one, number 3. You know, it's got the 2. It's pretty simple, really, guys. It's got the 2 ports. And, you know, one's going to go to one side of the V and the other side's going to go to the other side. And these are pretty simple carburetors in that, like, there's 2 jets down in the bottom of here. And they just come off. There's like 4 bolts or 4 of these screws. And I've already had this apart, so I won't really do it again, but I want to put Loctite on these because that will loosen up on you. And it's got a rubber gasket underneath, and which works good. But anyway. So I've already inspected this one, and these are so simple. I mean, down inside of here, you got these. Right over there is your jet. Probably better. Anyway, hopefully you can see that right there. There's the jet, and on both sides, like on this other side, you know, mine was clogged. Anyway, I didn't have good fuel flow through this, and then, you know, so okay, well, I need to inspect this. Make sure your gasket looks good. Like, I actually had this one backwards. It's fine. It'll seal it all off. Like, you got to make sure your holes line up like this one does. It's fine. And then I did check my jet. This all looks good. So the only thing, you know, that's really the only thing in the bottom of this thing you even gotta check. You know, of course, you got little holes on the side here, you can check those, just spray it out. Like this one was really clean, so the filter was doing its job. And then there's two little bitty small, they're very small, and just you want to check those and make sure they're clear. And then it is, you know, other than that, man, there's not much to this, you know. And then you can take this out and blow through it if you want, but slide back on there. I just gotta line it up. There we go. Then I got some Loctite. So this is blue. Hopefully I got enough. And I just want to Loctite them back. And I just kind of use like wrist tight. Yeah, so like, you know, just, I don't know how many, you know, the thing is brick and plastic, you know, why they couldn't make an aluminum, you know, because of all the cost. Yeah, well, here we are. We can sell more of them, I guess. Like, oh, we don't do it like that, you know, we're not trying to do that. And then, of course, they come and out with something like this, you know, you gotta wonder. You don't know. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. But yeah, I just kind of, because it's plastic, you know. You kept going around honkering on it, then you'll pretty much break it. So I mean, I'm like almost thumb and middle, you know, my middle finger. I just kind of do like that, and that usually gets me pretty tight. And then you don't have to worry about it. And then that Loctite does its job, locks it all off. And then on top we got these 6 screws, and I do the same thing. Let's go ahead and take this back off. So you know, there's 2 jets in the front of the carburetor. If you're looking down, there's that jet right there in the, you know, there's probably a better look at it. Yeah, just make sure those aren't clogged. Squirt some stuff in there, and then you can squirt like right here and right here. And when you open, you know, when you squirt, anyway, just clear it all out, you know what I'm saying? Just clear it all out. I just kind of, this guy, I just do it kind of a crisscross pattern. I don't know if it matters. Need a better screwdriver. Six screws and it comes off. And you got this plate on top, and then you got this rubber gasket. Same deal, you just want to make sure you clean out any passageways. There's 2 little bitty passageways, and hopefully you can see them, but they're right there. See, one's on each side there, and it's on both sides on each. Anyway, you just want to clean them out, make sure they're good and clean. And then when you take this back together, like I said, you just throw some blue Loctite on all the bolts. And it may not be necessary for like this top, but that's what I do. It was the third one is the, and you know, it looked like old ethanol fuel that had been sitting in the bottom. I mean, it was kind of almost like milky, like it had water in it, which is what ethanol does. I have some cable ties coming, you know, that's radiused, this that you can use for these. But you can try to get, you just gotta, like, you can do a regular, what I want to say, hose clamp, right? But you're gonna have to have this little piece down here. There's not a lot of clearance, so. All right, well, it's a couple days later, and this is probably about the best day we're gonna have. So I guess gonna have to get it done. I mean, it's kind of cleaned up down here, but not that great, to be honest with you. Really, before I even do anything, I need to just blow all this out. Just some old rags. Yeah, just so it doesn't get any dirt. Alright, so when you use a hose clamp like this, you know, you got this thing is going to go together, and it only has so much room. So you kind of got to put it in a position where it's going to be out of the way. Alright, that's how I did it. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but she's on there. So now, I think we got enough room. Let's see. But you got to get her down there. Yeah. That's how I did. So the next thing is we gotta get this one on top. So that's gonna come from here. Put that over there. Look and see. There we go. That doesn't, there's no pressure on that, so. Alright, give it back. You can't, that's what I mean, like, you can't really mess them up. Now I'm gonna get myself in a pickle here. Give it back. My tool torques are pretty good. Right, so now the carbs are back on. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put this front plate, well, hang on. We can put this on. This is our linkage. So, it was like this, I believe. Yeah, sorry. This is our linkage. We got to put this back on. So I think this is the location it was in. Pretty sure. To look at that again. I don't think it was like this. Yeah, I think it was like this. See what that looks like. If that's wrong or right, I don't remember now. Yeah, it's a problem with these plastic carburetors. She leaks. I don't know. There's not much you can do to that one. Maybe we can replace that gasket. I don't know. I guess I'll take this back apart. Well, it's leaking out right there. Kind of sucks. mean, it's tight. I believe I'm gonna have to put a carb kit on this, because once they leak, they won't. You're not gonna fix that. And if it's a plastic bowl that's, I almost want to double up, that won't. I got another carb kit here. I guess I don't have to do that. I can do this. I got another carb kit over here. That's the thing. Once you open one up, a lot of times you just replace the kit. So yeah, this gasket was just not, it wasn't on there right. And actually, yeah, I don't know that it's stretched, so I don't know that you could make it work. Even if you turn it over, it may have the same problem. Yeah, and what I mean is, like, see how it's stretched at the bottom? So that won't seal off. So I got another one. I got another kit. I keep them in stock. Never know when I need it, and then I can just get it done. Kind of comes with everything. So I have a new. That's new. I don't have to replace the needle or the seat, I don't think. And then we could use the top one. It's probably fine. So we'll just use those two out of the kit, and then, it is what it is. But see how the new ones, like, like that's all covered, so. But I'm gonna have to get some more Loctite, I think. Alright. Loctite. Yeah, so these rubber gaskets, that's what happens. They just stretch. Once you take them off, they don't ever, because you gotta kind of pop them off, and they just never really go back on, right? Alright, we got the carbs back in. I got one bolt that I got to put in down here that I took out whenever I dropped that fitting for the carburetor. So I found it, and I knew what it was because it's kind of, it's got a color to it. So I'm going to put that back in, and then I got to put this plate on and put our throttle and shift cable back into place. And see if I can get her to fire off. I'm still waiting on the solenoid, so we're not done yet, but I think it's we're moving along. Alright, so each one of these I'm going to Loctite as well. Last thing we want is one vibrates loose and then it gets sucked into the throat of the carburetor and destroys the engine. Alright, I got the key on the on position. We got it a little bit fast idle. And then we're gonna see if it'll start. So I've got my remote start back here because I don't have remember, I don't have full control. You know, that switch isn't working is what I'm trying to say. So, but I can still do it from here. And the on and off part of it is working. So let's hope it is. If not, we'll have to pull a fuel connector. But to choke it, I'll just put this, turn this lever, and see what happens here. See if she'll fire off. Just try to. See if it levels out. Yeah, they all go even. Alright. We can run for a minute. I don't like that gas. Likes a little bit of throttle. Still kind of spitting. That'll help it. Get some of that crap out of there. We had a tack. Yeah, we don't have a tack. That's not working. Well, I was running it on my tank, and we had it running pretty decent. Not great, but decent. But it just needs the cobweb pulling out. I don't know. But I got me a water bottle because I want to see what this gas of his looks like, because it certainly did run very good on it. I'm thinking he has water in there. I don't know, maybe it's very cloudy. That gas doesn't look good to me. Very, very cloudy. Alright, so either our timing or our fuel timing was a little off. So I just thought I'd hook up my timing light and see if I can figure out what's going on. See where it's at anyway, just so I know where it's at. But we'll just do the same thing. We'll pull this out. Get her where she'll start at least.